Hi, I'm John Corvino. Some advocates of religious exemptions say that we need to do more to respect people's integrity. They say, shouldn't we encourage people to follow their conscience, follow their convictions? And the answer to that question is, it depends. Specifically, it depends on the content of those convictions. Some people believe that God wants them to throw virgins into volcanoes, but they would be better off if they did not act on those convictions. So would the virgins. The problem is not just that some convictions have third-party consequences, although that's important. The problem is, frankly, that some people have lousy convictions. And so, even if they should follow their conscience, that doesn't mean the rest of us should make it any easier for them to do so. Let me illustrate with a 2009 case involving Keith Bardwell, a Louisiana justice of the peace who would not perform interracial marriages. Now, Bardwell claimed he had nothing against black people. In fact, he even said that he had piles and piles of black friends. Piles. And yet, he believed, as a sincere matter of moral conviction, that interracial marriage was wrong. And so whenever an interracial couple would come to him to get married, he would just quietly refer them to a colleague. Now, the first thing to notice about this case is that the third-party burdens were relatively minimal. Certainly more so than in the Kim Davis case. Remember her? She was the Kentucky county clerk who refused to issue marriage licenses for same-sex couples or to let her deputy clerks do so. In fact, at one point, she even told the couples that they could just drive to another county. Bardwell, by contrast, just stepped aside and let another official fill in. And yet, he was rightly pressured to resign. Like Davis, Bardwell substituted his own view of marriage for the government's and did so in a discriminatory way. The law should not abide such discrimination. It especially should not do so in our public officials, whose job is to represent all of the people. Now, let me be clear about something. My point is not that sexual orientation discrimination is just like racial discrimination. In some ways they're similar, in some ways they're very different. My point is that your conscience tells you what you should do. Your conscience doesn't tell us what the rest of us should do. And if your conscience is telling you to mistreat people, the rest of us may rightly push back against that. In fact, we may do so as a matter of conscience. So, should we respect integrity? Absolutely. But respecting integrity doesn't require sanctioning bigotry.